We live in a society today that is extremely divided. Many won't take a second to listen if they believe differently than we do. Are you one of those people? If you are, stick around until the end of the video. I'll walk you through some of the tips I have to being more open-minded. Hey, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Nick and this is my channel, Nick's Mindful Tips. In this video, I wanted to share my own personal perspective on how to be more open-minded. How many times have you been in a conversation with someone who didn't seem to show a care in the world for what you had to say? We've all been in a conversation like this, and it can be quite frustrating. Now think, how many times have you been the person in the conversation who didn't care what the other person had to say? I'm sure many of you have been in a conversation like this.
Oh my god, did you hear about my ex the other day?
No, I didn't.
She went on social media and posted a picture in a bikini.
Okay.
We only broke up 8 months ago and she's acting like she's already single.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, seriously, we were together for almost 3 weeks. How could she act like we weren't a thing?
Just because someone may not care to listen to what you have to say doesn't mean that they're not open-minded. The point I'm trying to get to is that humans naturally have an ego. We like to talk about ourselves. Now think about a time that you were in a debate with someone and every time you finished talking, you were met with an immediate response from the other person, as if they were only waiting for you to finish talking just so that they could talk. It can be difficult to talk to someone if you guys have different viewpoints, sometimes even impossible. Something I would like more people to understand is that without being open-minded, we're actually stopping ourselves from growth. When you were young, you were just about as open-minded as you could have been. Sure, maybe you had like some foods that you didn't like or clothes that you didn't like to wear, but in order for you to learn and understand more, you were absorbing an incredible amount of information. Had you been more closed-minded from that young age, you never would have grew into the person that you became today. As we get older, we tend to become more closed-minded, stuck in our ways, pushing away anything that doesn't align with our current view. Interacting and conversing with others where a disconnect occurs allows us to open our mind up to new ideas so that we may be able to grow. There is an alarming amount of hate being spread from people all over the world. The divide between us is so great that for some people, they'll kick them out of their lives the second they realize that they don't agree with them about something, sometimes without even knowing what drives them to feel the way that they do. It is judgment on an extreme level. To block someone out of your life just because of a view that they might have is what makes somebody closed-minded. Leave a comment if you've had an interaction that went something like this.
I love dogs so much, you don't even understand. They are amazing.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of dogs.
What is wrong with you? Are you a socio?
Well, no, I had a couple bad experiences with dogs when I was younger.
You shouldn't be so quick to judge dogs just because of a stupid little thing that happened to you.
I don't mean to offend you, it's just how I feel.
I can't be around you anymore. There is no reason that anybody should not like dogs. You're done. I'm blocking you. That's it.
Like a child who plugs their ears and makes noise so that they don't have to listen to somebody talk. This is what many adults are doing, but more in, I guess, a mature way. In reality, it's just about as immature as the child. I do not condone the spread of hate no matter what somebody may believe. I was a vegan for 9 years to help save the animals. I'm not a vegan anymore for reasons that I won't get into, but never during that time did I hate somebody because they didn't agree with the same view that I had. I was always understanding to the view of the other person and I never tried to push my view onto them. The only thing that I ever judged them on was whether or not they were a caring, considerate, kind, generous person. These are the things that we should be focusing on before we decide that we will not tolerate somebody. Open your eyes to the greater good or we will not be able to evolve as a species. Be the change that you want to see in others. If you wouldn't be willing to open up your heart and mind, how can you expect somebody else to do the same thing? You can't expect someone else's view to change if you yourself aren't open to changing your views. My goal here is not to polarize anybody. Rather to create an honest and open discussion amongst everybody. How many people do you know that go on social media just to hyper focus on things that they disagree with, commenting and spreading different forms of hate? Those people are as closed-minded as they come. Are you one of those people? Having an open mind is what helps humankind to grow. People used to believe that the earth was flat until around 500 BC. There is some controversy about how much later it was than 500 BC, but I digress. In order to realize that the earth was different than they had believed, they had to open their minds. It's important for us to have an open mind in order to keep some level of harmony amongst each other. It doesn't mean that you have to be willing to change your view on anything, but to keep an open mind is to allow yourself to continue to grow into a more wholesome person. I have changed my view on many different things throughout my life. There was a time when I used to judge people for their beliefs, never considering what got them there. To judge someone based on their view is to stop yourself from growth. Many of us are inconsiderate at times, some more than others. Can you think of a time that you were inconsiderate towards somebody? Or maybe not even inconsiderate to them. Maybe you had negative thoughts towards them after the fact. When you're driving your car and someone's driving 5 miles below the speed limit, does it frustrate you? I know it frustrates me. Did you stop to think that maybe that there's a sick child in the car who needs a slow and steady ride? Or maybe someone messed up your fast food order and forgot to put ketchup on your burger when you had specifically asked for it. The person who made your burger could be dealing with the loss of a loved one and you'd have no idea about it. There can be many things that many people do around us that are quite frustrating, but we shouldn't be so quick to think that the world is revolving around us. Open your mind, consider other people and their feelings. Try to do better in keeping an open ear and hearing others out, even if you disagree with them. You may find that your view is more malleable than you thought. I hope that this video has helped you guys to have a little bit of a different perspective. Many of us struggle to keep an open mind, but with time and effort, we can push ourselves to grow. That wraps this video up. Let me know in the comments section some things that you guys have trouble being open-minded about. Take care. Later. We live in a society today that is extremely divided. Many don't take a second to listen if they I was always understanding to the view of the